Welcome to Hotline TV, everyone. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Even though Hillary's likely to win big in West Virginia tonight, lots of Democrats are still going to be calling for her to drop out of the race. All right, so today we have a bit of a role play for all of our viewers. Amy Walter over here is going to argue that it's better for Hillary Clinton to stay in this race until the bitter death. And I'm going to argue that it's just better for her to drop out and get on with her life. All right, let's do this.
Okay, I wish I could have dressed up for this, like Carolyn.
You look good.
But
you look
thanks.
nice.
Well, you know, we're just to get fully in the role play. I'd like to actually dress for it. But anyway,
you mean like
I
Jane
can work
Curtin, like
something
Jane,
like that.
But most of our viewers wouldn't even get the Jane Curtin reference.
Chevy
Saturday
Chase.
Night
Anyway,
Live.
all right, let's talk about this. Why, oh, why does she need to get out? It's not doing any damage at all to the party. In fact,
go ahead.
Remember, you're supposed to wait for me. All right, so she stays in this race. We have contention, we have back and forth, we have discussions about will this party be unified, and yet Democratic voters do not seem at the least bit upset by all of this. You look at the polling, which I like to look at some
There's
polling.
really only one poll that matters, Amy.
Is it? Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Even though I can't find this one right now, the one thing that I do know is both of them now have gotten a lead over John McCain. Now, Obama's is more significant, but they both have a lead over John McCain in the latest ABC Washington Post poll, in the latest Diageo Hotline poll. Hillary Clinton may be suffering a bit among Democrats in terms of her favorables, but you know what? Democrats themselves are saying in polls, I don't think this is going to hurt the party. I think the party's going to be able to come together, and quite frankly, everybody should have a shot to do that, so why get out?
That's an interesting theory, Amy Walter. I will remind you once again, the only poll that matters is the one on Election Day. Look, there's a couple things. There are two reasons for her to stay in, very simply. One is to sort of, help herself, and the other one is to help the party and the ultimate nominee, presumably Barack Obama. Let's go to the first one, to help herself. She has come a long way in the past 15 months. She is no longer, I think, recognized, as E.J. Dionne wrote this morning, no longer recognized as sort of, just her wife, the wife of Bill Clinton. She now has her own persona, her own role in the Democratic Party. She's a champion for these working class voters. She doesn't just rely on her credentials as a first lady or as a senator. She actually has a voice, the voice she talked about in New Hampshire. She can preserve that by getting out now and I think become a really strong voice in the party. Or she can stay in, continually eroding her support. You talk about how she's lost favorables among Democrats. She's actually lost considerable favorables among Democrats, dropping to about a third of the support that she used to have among black voters, which used to be a key part of the sort of Clinton legacy. The other thing is, she should stay in the race to help the nominee. Well, actually, what I think we're going to see out of tonight in West Virginia is Obama's going to be in Missouri, Clinton's going to be in West Virginia. She's probably going to give a very favorable speech to herself and maybe to him. But the media, the story that has become the sort of subtext of West Virginia is the fact that Obama cannot connect with white working class voters. Why does that story exist? Because Hillary Clinton is still in the race. If she wasn't running, Obama would win the race. It would we would no longer be covering it. We wouldn't be talking about it. And he would be working on the general election. And we wouldn't know that
he would still have problems with white working class voters?
We would not as much. I don't think
we just wouldn't know that.
You wouldn't have Hillary Clinton out there citing an AP story saying that white voters are voting for her. You wouldn't have this huge constituency. You wouldn't have the talking points about how much trouble he's going to have in states like West Virginia, in states like Kentucky this fall.
But we also assume that Hillary Clinton's voice is her real voice, and it's not just a voice that she adopted to win this primary. Right? I mean, do we think that she came into this race as would we have said at the beginning of this contest that she came into this race as the working class voice for...
Well, that was John Edwards.
That was John Edwards. She was the DLC candidate and the experience candidate.
But the DLC candidate can still be the working class candidate. You can still be the sort of working class white voters and still be the members of the DNC.
All right. Well, Clinton's a big fan of the show, so we'll just have to wait and see whose advice she takes. John?
Yeah, I think we both know the answer to that, Amy. But that's about all the time that we have for today's show. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Hotline TV.